It's unstoppable. Please reassess your travel plans.
The stuff I'm really puzzling over is how to get from sort of, if I do go out to Canberra, which it looks like I am, where do you cut back in and how do you do as much of it on foot as possible? It's really tricky.
Look, I think it's a tricky thing you're trying to do, and you don't really have the maps there for this, and also you've got the fire you've got to work around.
Down here is Eden. That's where we are now. Up here is Tathra. That's where I could potentially walk to. The highway forks. So you have to make a choice at that point. Do you go left to the west or do you stay right on the coast? This is where the big fire is. From here down, everything is shut, everything's on fire, everything's been burned or is burning. This park's closed, that park's closed, that park's closed, that park's closed, everything's closed. If I go Canberra, I've committed to that fork for some time. You can't easily cut back across. I simply can't walk hundreds of kilometers that I had hoped to. Now, I'm not that sour about it because that's a big fire and that puts a lot of people in really big danger. I'm not here to say, oh, wow, I can't do my walk. Boo, fire. Here we are in Canberra. This is Bill.
Hello.
Just gave me a wonderful lift. We had a great chat and now he's off to see his kid.
Bit hazy.
Bit hazy.
Bit bushfiery, but
Well,
such
yeah.
are the times.
Such are the times indeed. Thank you, Bill.
You're very welcome.
What a time.
Enjoy your adventure.
It shouldn't be this hard to walk somewhere. I'm overlooking it. Modeled territory on a screen or on a piece of paper. I want to be there. I guess that's another part of adventure. Things happen that you can't predict and that throw your best plans out the window. We're in that stage of the adventure. Part of me is annoyed that I can't do wildernessy stuff. Another part of me is actually okay with it. It's not that I'm sick of wild places, but my experience hasn't been that you always need that kind of spectacular scenery to bring about many of the joys of walking. It's become part of the story. I'm beginning to make my peace with this situation. Well, here we are in Goulburn. Got a lift with Mark and his kid Tom Tom. They're going to see the race cars. Made myself a sign. Let's see if we can get the last 20 minutes to where we're trying to walk to. Otherwise it's an 8-hour walk. Just when I was despairing of being stuck in Goulburn for 2 hours, after Mark kindly gave me a lift there, this guy Matt approaches me and asks me where I'm going. And not only does he give me a lift to where I was trying to go, he takes me further in. And so here we are, back on the feet, walking fire trails to who knows where. This park is not on fire, and we got the hitches that we needed. I weighed the bag this morning. It weighs 35 kilos. I feel kind of alien here. Like I didn't travel here, I just showed up. After traveling relatively slowly for weeks on end, to then just be in Canberra and now just be even further. It doesn't feel right. It feels like I've cheated. It would have taken 8 days or more to walk the distance Bill took me. And I was just there in 3 hours. I was just there. It's weird. So just walking into the state forest. Look what's going on in Penrose. This is Craig.
Hey guys, Jacob's the man. We just listen. We just saw Jacob across the street. He heard us playing some music.
Just drawn in.
Yeah. So
what's going on?
Come on. We got some chemical-free vegetables here.
Delicious. Here we go. Fresh local fruit. We got homemade furniture, pizza oven,
This will blow your mind.
beer keg urinals.
Yeah. So this is just a little bongo solo for Jacob's safe travels, just sending good positive vibes for your journey, mate, when you're out there in the forest. So.
I appreciate it.
That's safe travels to Jacob. Now the band, go!
Man, I was not expecting that.
The road goes ever on and on.
This is not morning mist. This is smoke. The particulate composition of the air in Sydney is 10 times the World Health Organization recommended limit, just because of bushfire smoke. Why is this good? Why am I enjoying walking along the shoulder of a sealed road with no footpath, with cars going by? It's hot. I'm carrying a pretty heavy bag. I've been walking all morning. Why am I having a good time right now? It's not fun anymore again. I was having a good time about an hour or so ago, just after lunch. Well, there goes Dylan, who pulled over and even chucked a Yui to come and find me. So I thought, alright. Really feeling the weight of the bag. Maybe I shouldn't have weighed it. I don't know what I'll do when I actually get to Sydney. I'll have to adjust to being sedentary. Finally back on a path designed for me and what I'm doing. And it's only on this sort of path that you can get to this sort of place. Whoa. I feel compelled to move ponderously around the tracks that run along the rim of this gorge. There's a slowness and a gravity here. Part of me is annoyed that we are so dependent on the motor vehicle that we don't even build ways to get places on these. I feel like an alien for just doing what is the most basic form of human transportation. It is as basic to the human being as talking. If there was a path and you weren't squeezed on the side of the sealed road with trucks and cars, I'd happily walk it. Driving is very useful. I'm not against the car as such, I'm just against there not being any way but the car. So much of what I'm trying to do with this project is re-normalize walking as a way of getting places.
Of course, even when there is a path, there's still no guarantee you'll be allowed to use it.
The escarpment that I was hoping to walk is very much restricted, or at least this section that I tried is. So I've spent the last few hours just trying to figure out what to do, and I've ended up here, which as far as I can tell is not in the restricted section. People I'd spoken to who seemed to know the area told me that that escarpment was probably fine. It's not. We're not having a fire because I'm tired, it would be irresponsible, it's probably illegal. We're safe, we're dry, we're probably not trespassing anymore. Nothing to worry about. The plan today is exit this forest and then figure it out. There might be a bit more road walking in my future. Goodie. That is the escarpment I was hoping to walk along. But you very much can't. At least not in that section. So here we are in Dapto. I'd never been to Dapto before. And I don't mind a bit of city walking, but when that escarpment is right up there, right just over those bushes, it's just taunting me. Well, here we are in Wollongong, and I have a place to stay tonight. One of the biggest challenges, maybe the biggest, has been finding places to stay. I just need a legal place to sleep. It can be dirt, it can be grass, it can be leaves, it can be sticks. I don't care. Spent the whole day relaxing, but there are new developments. This morning I learned that all the trails that I was hoping to walk, shut. The plan is walk from here along the part of the escarpment that I can actually walk, and then at the end of that walk, that's it. Catch a train. There's not a lot of walking left. It's quite unceremonious to finish it that way. Well, the red sun rises on this, a very smoky final day. The temperatures are just set to skyrocket, so we're off early, trying to make as much progress as possible. This is it, the beginning of the end. This whole area around Wollongong is the traditional land of the Tharawal people, and as always, I feel very privileged to be here and to be able to walk across this country. What a place. Well, it's not over yet. This last 2K section of this forest path before the train has proved to be one of the most testing bits of path I've walked the entire trip. It's steep down, It's very thick. Who knew such a place would be 2 kilometers from a train station? You know what that is? That's a train station. That's the train station. And would you believe it? Here we are. Made it. Made it, made it, made it. Oh my goodness. In some ways it's easy to feel unlucky that once in a generation bushfires have kept you from doing what you set out to do, but there are many other ways where it's easy to feel very lucky. I'm pretty satisfied with what I've achieved here. I don't think it's fair to say that I walked Melbourne to Sydney, but I have travelled Melbourne to Sydney. It's been an odyssey of kindness, despite all the difficulties and the things that didn't work. I'm really glad that I did this. It's Dad! Hello! How good is this?
Nice to see you. I've got something from your mother too.
I can't think of a better way to have spent this past 5 weeks. I've got to see so much of the country I call home. I've got to see so many people. I've got to learn more about myself. I've got to learn more about the world, and the world that we hardly ever see. I've learned more about God and the world that He has made, the world that He makes, not just for our benefit. The places between the places, the spaces between the spaces. I've come to love the world more. Everything has been given more time than it could possibly have had for us to shoot over it in a plane. I hope if you're watching this, you're inspired to try it. It doesn't have to be attempting 1,000 kilometers. If you have the time and there's somewhere you can get to, someone you want to see, consider how else you might get there, and consider what possibilities lie along the way that you might encounter, because I found it to be quite special. There he is. Hey.
What's Santa doing? Santa's riding his bike backwards. He seems to have had a bit of a bingle. Oh no, he is facing forwards. He's front heavy. I thought it was his bottom.